Yeah, Sriram, this is the part two of the discussion on leadership. I remember pausing after the discussion on Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy. Uh, well, that was a very interesting theory, and it certainly motivated me to work for self actualization, which is the highest need. Then let's look at this Blake and Morton grid, concern for people on the x axis and concern for production on the y axis. So, this theory is also an interesting one. Of course, lot of descriptions and details are available, but all that is not really necessary. For us, it is sufficient to get to the SAR, the quintessence. You see, concern for people is on the x-axis and concern for production on the y-axis. And Blake and Mouton obviously is the name of the names of the researchers. You see, they said that they identified five possible types. When there is very low concern for people, low concern for production, they call it impoverished management. Well, there is hardly any management. And low concern for production but high concern for people, country club management. Maybe in government organizations, this is what is happening in India. Low concern for production but high concern for people. And as a result, most of the government organizations are sick. Now, middle of the road management, where the concern for people and production is at a mediocre level, average level. The concern for production is very high, but concern for people is very low. These are slave markets. Okay, there are many organizations which do that, private organizations. Authority compliance management, where the atmosphere is extremely toxic. What do you call them? Sweatshops. They're called sweatshops. Remember the word. SWEAT, sweatshop. Sweatshop is where sweated labor is extracted, where you work like a donkey but get a pittance. Pittance. Pittance means a very small amount. I still remember working for many organizations where I was paid a pittance. Pittance. Very small amount. And lot of labor, sweated labor, like they're called sweatshops. So, but that was good anyway, because it will teach you many things about why hard work is absolutely essential. Well, smart work is always there, but hard work is also important. You will understand how much, what is the price you have to pay for success. Okay. So that was good. So the next, the best one is concern for production is very high, concern for people is very high. That is team management. Team management. So we should try to make sure that our style of management is team management style. Now let's go to the leader plus vision is equal to result. Okay, that's a nice idea. Autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire. This is the oldest theory on leadership. What are the three types of leadership? The next question is, which is the best? The answer to which is the best is nothing is the best. It all depends on the situation. Autocratic, well, like a monarch, you have to dictate. Sometimes you have to. Suppose there is an emergency. Okay. Or best example is the pilot is landing the plane or taking off. So it's an emergency. So the pilot will start barking orders and others simply follow. There's no question of any group discussion there. So in an emergency autocratic style, well, if it is a normal course of events, democratic style. That too, provided the people in your team are mature and dedicated and objective. Otherwise, democracy is pointless. When your group members are uneducated, unqualified, or immature, emotionally vulnerable, then democracy fails. Democracy can be truly successful only when all the people are educated and mature. Look at the state of our country. Look at the kind of leaders we are electing. Why is that happening? Because we have not really educated our people. Laissez-faire, free reign, absolutely no control. Well, that is possible in a team which is full of, let us say, Einsteins. If I am working and I am the leader of a group of Einsteins, highly knowledgeable people, it is a research team, then there will be free reign. Or, in any team, sometimes when the matters are very minor, trivial, then you can use laissez-faire. So next, locus of control. That's an interesting concept again. Locus of control, external locus of control, internal locus of control. Simply means if you are having internal locus of control, it means that you blame yourself for anything that goes wrong and try to improve your behavior. And when after that also things go wrong, well, obviously others are interfering or factors beyond your control may be operating, so you don't bother too much. External locus of control is bad. These are people who will always find something else to blame. So have an internal locus of control and don't get disturbed. Johari window. This is another amazing activity. This is a activity I strongly recommend that you take. I will also post one video on Johari window. There's a questionnaire. Actually, there are 55 words which Joe and Harry are two researchers. You can take this list which is available on the internet. There is a no Harry window, that is the negative words will be there, 55 positive words, and in the negative words I think there is a list, another 20, 30, 40, whatever. So the activity is very simple. See, there are several things about ourselves that we know and several things about ourselves which others know. That is called the arena, open area. There are many things about me that I know but you don't know. That is things which I am hiding. That is the facade. That is the facade. Facade means the false front. Facade also means the front of a building. So we have to tear down the facades. We have to understand who is the person behind this smoke screen. People wear masks. See, the word personality comes from the Latin word persona, which means a mask. We all wear innumerable masks. So we can judge people and understand people when all the masks have been removed. That is why we should have lot of informal activities, parties and a little bit of alcohol, social drinking when the masks are down. That is when you can see the actual person. Anyway, Johari window is not talking about that. This is my suggestions included. Yeah. So the next thing is, there are many things about me which I don't know but you know. That is my blind spot. So how can I know what's my blind spot? By inviting honest feedback from others. I give a long list of words and 55 positive words and some 50 negative words. And suppose I ask somebody, identify 6 terms. This is exactly the Johari window activity. So you can give it to your mother, father, brother, sister, close friend, or anybody who claims to know you well. Then they will identify 6 words which they believe represent your character. Once you do this activity, you will be shocked. You never knew that this is what they were thinking of you. Especially the negative words, you will be shocked. Definitely you will interview them and ask, why did you think that I am like this? Then they will come out with some explanation that will give you insights into your own behavior and how sometimes, a seemingly harmless behavior led to an extremely negative opinion formed by the other person. So we have to be very careful. So this is an extremely useful activity, Johari window. And the last one is, there are many things about me which I don't know and you also don't know. That is called the unknown or hidden. So how can we know what is unknown? By exploring, by exposing ourselves to new activities, trying out new food, new dress, new thinking, new ideologies. Don't reject anything. There are so many ideologies, philosophies in the world. In fact, the sign of an educated mind is the ability to entertain any number of ideas without getting upset about it. But developing critical thinking. So this is Johari window. I strongly recommend you take this activity. I will post one more on Johari window later. Now let us see what else we have. EQ is emotional quotient. I'll give you an EQ questionnaire later. That is also very interesting. Toxic followers are also there, so you better be careful. Now let us see. Which is the best style of leadership? The answer is, there's no best style of leadership. It all depends on the situation. So competing. Behavior of the user of the winning over others. Appropriate in emergencies. When the leader is certain, when opponents are unscrupulous. Unscrupulous means dishonest. So the mode is competing. You collaborate in a different mode. Compromise in a different mode. Avoid, withdraw. The trivial controversy, victory is impossible. Don't get into that. Choose your battles wisely. So accommodating, giving in to others. When the other person has more merit of justice or more reasonable, have the humility to accept the other person's argument. So the idea here is there's no best style of leadership. Everything depends on the situation and the people. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Okay, I think I'll stop here because otherwise it'll become too lengthy. We'll have part 3 discussion later. Okay. Okay, Jai Shri Ram.